Hey man, how's it going? Well, here it is. Hey, what can I say? The whole thing is just crazy. My main computer is temporarily out of whack. I don't know whether it's the way the thing works. Let me readjust my camera, damn it. I'm gonna feel like I'm breaking my neck trying to get on the air. You know what I mean? Hey man, whole thing's cool, really cool. Watching Chucky. Yeah, so they're just watching this lame episode of Chucky. Yeah, man. I can dig it. We can all dig it. Chucky is Chucky. The other one, of course, is Dexter. I knew he couldn't stay out of the limelight. And eventually, yes, he had to come back. We just couldn't get enough of him. I know I couldn't. I mean, I knew that when Dexter died, I thought, no, he'll come back, man. Oh, yeah. He will come back. I know he come back. He did come back. It's pretty cool. But, this guy, I think the problem with him is the same old, same old. He can't get enough of killing. He it's just something in his system. He cannot get away from killing people. At least he's killing bad people, which is good. I can't say that killing is bad either. That's not really good either. It's just, you know, we kill to eat, which is okay. Obviously, imagine it's like trying to cut a piece in chicken while the thing's still moving. Good luck. I'm sorry, I couldn't help that. Yeah. I heard when you take a chicken, you cut its head off, it's still moving around, runs around the yard. I'm like, wow, talk about a case of Speedy Gonzalez on steroids, man. Things just flapping away, and you can't hear a squawk because Nancy's got no head, so it's got no vocal cords, so it can't squawk. But I'll tell you, that's some pretty heavy stuff, believe me. I mean, I never seen it, but I heard stories, man. Oh boy, bad stories. Kind of stuff I would want to share, but hey, such is life. People go out and get guns, they kill animals, their food. In fact, I had some wild moose one time over in Canada. There's an Indian fort called the Ojibwe Indians over in Thunder Bay, Canada. My wife and I, we spent a couple days there. We started out, we rented a spot for our tent, right? Well, it started raining. We had one of those blow up mattresses. Believe it or not, the mattress started floating inside our tent. I'm thinking, oh boy, it reminds me of that episode of Bugs Bunny where there was a bad rainstorm. Bugs Bunny's floating on a mattress. Next thing you know, he is the guest of some evil mad scientist who wants to take out his brain and put it in some rather large homemade monster. Yeah, talk about a real wild adventure. I told my wife, I know that's not going to happen to us, but let's not take the chance. You know what I mean? You never know. Things can happen that you cannot even imagine. But you know what? It does happen. You just got to be very careful about what you do and who you're doing it with. And believe you me, there are times when I wonder how the hell people get away with that stuff they get away with, but somehow they do. Luckily, I'm not one of those people, the victims. I'm telling you, that's just some pretty heavy stuff, man. But I must admit, overall, the moose meat I ate, it was good. It was a little dry, but they told me that's much better than the beef that we eat. Maybe there's some truth to it. The indigenous people of Alaska, yeah, they eat that shit right up, man. They love that stuff, man. Maybe a little moose gravy. You can't tell the difference, man. Personally, if I ate enough of it, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference either. Then there's venison. That's also a very nice cut of meat. My wife, she don't eat none of that good stuff. She only eats the burger and a couple of French fries. Of course, come to leave it, I think I remember leaving a thing of French fries in a little container in my car. I forgot to bring it in, but that's okay. It's cold outside, so I'm sure they'll stay nice and fine until the morning. You never know. With my mother, I feed her food, and she don't really eat all her food. She throws it out. For some reason, she just doesn't seem very hungry for it. I'm not sure I understand it all. Whole thing seems a little strange and twisted, but I think the problem with my mother is she has very little sense of taste, and I don't think she can taste the food she's eating. It just probably tastes like cardboard to her. I don't know. She'll eat pie and cake and everything that she's not supposed to eat. But when it comes to anything else, regular food, she eats a little bit of food, and I got to watch it real good, like, Mother, what are you doing? Why are you throwing out your food? You haven't eaten any yet. It's funny when the child becomes a parent, the parent becomes a child. I must admit, that's one screwed up mess, man. I must admit, somehow along the line, I guess that's the way of getting even with us, right? For all the bullshit we put on them. Yeah, right. Whole thing is kind of funny when I think about it. But for someone like myself here, I never really worried about stuff like that. I was just smart, and I just never got caught. That's why the rest of these wimps, they got caught. Me, hey man, I got the bragging rights like you would not believe. Some of the stuff my friends and I pulled, stuff that is classic, man. We're still talking about that stuff 40 years ago. Yeah. We used to go on a lot of interesting little adventures. Usually, by the time the cops arrive, we're out. We're already out, man. One time I recall we were driving home from my friend's father's place out in, I don't even know where the hell the place is now, man. It's probably still there. But we ran out of gas. And of course, there's this whistle stop town we went through. And believe it or not, all the gas stations are closed. Now, here's the funny part. My friend, he went out and he grabbed a pail off some lady's porch and took some garden hose and cut it. Then across the street is a bar or a used car lot, one of the two, right? Well, he went out and siphoned a bunch of gas, about enough to fill up a pail. It was like a 5-gallon pail. I was like, all right. So we took the Sunday newspaper, made it into a funnel, and poured all that gas in there. My friend is doing that, and my friend's brother, he's watching for the cops, man. Whole thing is just downright insane and crazy. But to make it interesting, quite a few years later, one of my cousins is getting married, and he lives in the town of Gasport, New York. Well, this little town is near Gasport. And I pointed to my wife, said, look, Brenda, remember the story I told you about how we stopped and, got that gas and everything? Yeah, this is the area where it was, because there's a metal bridge where my muffler fell off my old car. Crazy, huh? But I looked at the movie Chucky, the Bride of Chucky. Yeah, that's funny. I looked at my wife, said, see that bridge in the movie? Yeah, that's the bridge where I lost my muffler. Believe it or not, it's so blasted funny. I'm from the Buffalo area. But on the way to my cousin's wedding, I went over that bridge, and I showed my wife that used car dealership where my friend went and siphoned some gas out of some car so we could get home. It was our intention to buy gas, but the problem was there no goddamn gas station was open. That little whistle shop town closed at 11 o'clock. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man. Wow. So, just like I learned in the Marines, you learn how to improvise, adapt, overcome, and you do okay. But I must admit, I told my wife that crazy story years ago, and I said, look, Brenda, this is the place where all that good shit happened. She just looks at me. I said, look, I wasn't bullshitting, man. I told the real deal here, one of the many crazy things my friends and I used to do for fun. But like I said, it was our intention to buy gasoline. Well, sure enough, the gas is open. But here's the funny thing. After my friend got done siphoning gas, we're on our way to go. What's the first thing the fool tries to do? He tries to light a cigarette. I looked at him, I said, man, are you trying to blow yourself up? I mean, seriously, you just siphoned a whole mouthful of gasoline, and now you're going to put a cigarette in your face and light it? You must have some kind of death wish, man, because I'm telling you. My friend looked at me and said, oh my God, you're right. I said, man, you've been drinking too much. You got to sober up. So we got into a a little place called Middleport, New York, and there was a all-night coffee shop like place. So we stopped, got some coffee, got the nasty taste of gasoline out of my friend's mouth, and then he lit the cigarette. I'm like going, well, that's a relief because I was afraid it was gonna blow up, and his head was gonna go boom. Oh no, man, in my car. No, no, no. That'd be a hell of a mess to clean up. And I'm not gonna be stuck with that crazy shit, man. There's no way I'm gonna. You're like with Pulp Fiction when the gun went off and his head just exploded. Bang. Marvin. His name is Marvin. Yeah, man. Marvin. You better knock that off, Marvin. Yeah. Oh God. Oh God. Bang. Ah. Marvin's head is missing. They're looking at it like, oh my God, what just happened? You blew his head off, man. Well, yeah. The gun went off. It was one of those things of fate. Fate, nothing, man. He was just plain crazy. Personally, I learned a long time of gun safety when I was in the Marines. Never point a gun at anybody, you ain't going to shoot at. You know what I mean? And when you're carrying a weapon, make sure the safety's on at all times. Very important thing. You never know. Plus, everything too is like a lot of the cop shows, they tell people throw down your gun. I'm like, that is the most stupidest thing you could ever do. Because when you drop a handgun or something, it can blow off. You can drop your weapon, and if the head hits the ground just right, it'll fire, and then somebody's going to get shot. So that's one of those things. So in a lot of TV shows now, they tell you, okay, lay down your weapon. I'm thinking, good enough, that works. In the Marines, I was told by the sergeant, if you throw down your weapon, it's $100 fine. I'm like, $185. When you're getting paid $319.51, that $185 is a lot of money, man. Imagine less money you got to spend on those bitches in town. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's one of the lucky things about being young and seeing money, and you got to go out and spend it on the first crazy woman that just happens to just be in close proximation. No, I think it's called proximity. Well, at this point, who the hell knows, man? I was young and stupid too. I remember my first paycheck. Oh my God, did I ever have a good time with that son of a bitch? Oh yeah, good time. I was so drunk, I don't remember what I did, but I had fun. I did know that I had a lot of fun. I got drunk and crazy. My friends somehow got me home. I woke up. I'm like, the hell did I do and how did I get here? You know what I mean? I didn't own a car. One of my friends shoved me in the back of his Chevy station wagon. Another friend of mine, he owned a Pontiac ambulance similar to the one from Ghostbusters, only we didn't have the fancy warning lights and other good stuff like that. It was just this old Pontiac ambulance. It was a fun looking car. We had fun drinking and partying. We had a keg in the back where the patient would be located. That was a place we put the keg of beer with the ice and everything. I don't drink beer, by the way, but I had my 151. The other guys had their beer, and we had a good party on wheels, man. We had curtains and you couldn't see inside. I think that made the cops nervous. Can't tell how many times my friend got pulled over. Luckily, I wasn't there when it happened. We did go off this wild weekend party with the ambulance, and it was a good time. It was crazy sick shit. I think that was the weekend my friend blew the transmission in his vehicle. Yeah, some people have all the luck, right? It would have been a good vehicle, but my friend, he just beat the crap out of it. He didn't pay much for it. So, you know what they say, you get what you pay for. Eventually, he had himself a nice 72 Pontiac Le Mans. Didn't have it very long. Got drunk. Tried to play Dukes of Hazzard. Next thing you know, he hit a pole, smacked the pole, and spun around sideways. And my friend's dumb girlfriend called me and said that my buddy had a car accident. I said, what the hell did he do? Then she told me. I said, okay, I guess he's going to be needing a ride to work tomorrow. Yep. Okay. So I looked at my friend. I said, hey, man, what were you thinking? I mean, the Dukes of Hazzard is just a TV show. For you to do that in real life, you're damn lucky you didn't get your ass killed. But when you're young and foolish, you do young, foolish stuff. I guess that's part of the whole genre of it. You can see I'm quite older now, and Yeah, man. Awesome stuff. But, got to take time to consider that when you fall down, it takes a hell of a long time to get back up. Years ago, you just, jump on your feet, you're good to go, like in the Marines. This situation, man, hell no. Takes a long goddamn time to get up off your feet. Sometimes better off just stay on there and just say to hell with it. You know what I mean? Hey, man. Yeah. Just bring me my drink. Yeah, man. Life is good. You know what I mean? Damn straight. Wouldn't have it any other way. You know what I mean? This retirement thing isn't such a bad gig, I get paid to sit here and do whatever the hell I want. I must admit, after all those years, I think I have really discovered my calling. Yes, 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 yes. I fix my vehicles, keep them running. In fact, I just put brakes on my snowplow truck. The last couple of years I've owned that stupid thing, it's only had front brakes. So finally, I decided this year it's going to have rear brakes. Sure enough, went to the salvage yard, got myself a power brake proportioning valve, hooked up a brake line, ran it right to the rear wheels. My neighbor's son-in-law, he pumped the brake pedal, and I'm like, all of a sudden there's a fountain of fluid shooting out of the back. I'm like, eureka, finally, I got rear brakes, man. I went to start the truck out of my garage, and I hit the brake pedal, and I stopped. I'm like, I really, really stopped. I didn't come to a halt. I came to a complete stop. I was like amazed. I'm like, wow, they really work. Great. But I had my plow. I have my other truck. I have a big Chevy 4-door truck. It's like a big elephant. It's beautiful. It's not brand new, but it runs. I know how to fix the dumb thing, and it breaks, so it's not too bad off, But needless to say, the only other issue I have with that poor thing right now is I think a wheel bearing's bad. But given the age of the truck, it's to be expected. I mean, wheel bearings are wheel bearings. But I'm getting a plow frame for it. I'm going to put a plow frame on, and my neighbor has her husband's plow she's giving me. I have the control wiring off my friend's truck. So when I get done, I'm going to have me a righteous set of wheels, and it's going to be fun to drive. I have 2 trucks to plow. Of course, I got to fix my Blazer. It's got something wrong with the 4-wheel drive on that. Imagine that, huh? It worked okay when I took it off the road. I thought, I'll just get in and drive it. Nah, some other stupid thing is wrong with it now. I'm thinking, really? That's kind of makes you mad, but the Blazer is an 07, so it's been around a while now. So, yeah, it's been quite a while. It's 14 years old, I think, give or take a day. Let me just check my guru here just to make sure. I'm not exactly I'm not exactly a mathematical goddamn genius. Who the hell is? I'm not. Okay, so this is a 2007 minus 2021 and equals, yeah, that's right. It's 14 years old, man. You believe that shit? 14 years old. Wow. My truck is 17 years old. Know what I mean? And then my antique truck must be an antique. It's an 89. That thing is over 32 years old. The thing still runs. And now it has brakes on all 4 wheels. Imagine that, huh? Brakes with 4 wheels that actually stop, all 4 wheels. I was thinking that's a luxury I've not known in quite some time. You know that? But as for the Blazer, yeah, it's 14 years old, and they say, hey, man, nothing lasts forever. Sooner or later, you got to fix stuff. And this poor thing, yeah, I got to fix. Makes me wonder what happened. It's just like everything worked out really good one day, ran beautiful, everything's good. I drove it, I park it, I drive it, I park it, But Most of the time, I had the Blazer on the road. I had my black pickup truck. I had my 80 Trans Am, like the Bandit car from that Reynolds drove. Got me one of those. Now I have a big white Buick that's like a spaceship. So I got the big spaceship Buick. My wife has an Impala. My neighbor next door has an Impala. And a friend of mine, she just bought an Impala. I mean, isn't it weird how that works out, man? I know 3 ladies with the same damn car, which is good. If they break, I know how to fix them, which is great. Better than having to spend all the goddamn money to do a bunch of crazy shit. But my poor truck, it needed a few things that I could not fix. Some electrical problem because I had my gauges running. Also, my gauges would quit. I'm like, the hell is this shit, man? I can't tell how fast I'm going. I can't tell anything. Next thing you know, my engine starts acting funny because the gauges aren't working right, and it's giving the computer all sorts of weirdo coding and everything. So I replaced a water temp sensor. Then I got a new gauge package, threw it all in. Next thing you know, the guys at the shop in Oswego. Yeah, that's it. Went to this place in Oswego, and they did some voodoo, and sure enough, the gauges work. I'm like, excellent. I got to sit in front of a television set and eat some free potato chips, drink some free coffee. But we all know there's nothing free. We're paying for that shit. Oh, yeah, we are. Because it's free. I said, for what we're paying for labor, this shit ain't free, man. We're paying for it somehow, you know. They can't afford to give this shit away, you know. In this crazy world, there ain't no such thing as free. Somebody had to make it. So that means you had to pay somebody to make it. And thus the freebie kind of thing just kind of fell apart, man. One time we had to have an addition put onto our house. The addition turned out okay, but I'll tell you, I somehow think that the people that made that place cheaped out on us, man. Well, this guy's trying to tell me when I buy this addition to my house, I get a free television set. I looked at him, I'm like, free? How so? Because I said, look, I work in manufacturing. I know there's no such thing as free. Someone had to make that TV set in order for you to sell it. Because when I sit down and do the math, I'm paying for that television. Because you can't afford to give away a free television. If you could do that, you'd be giving away to everybody. You know what I mean? Not everybody's that smart. And the guy just looks at me and I said, well, I work in manufacturing. So, you know, I know who I am and I know the whole drill. See, the whole thing about manufacturing, there is no mystery to it. It's just the people that make this stuff work cheaper than I do. And that's kind of how we get ourselves screwed, you know. Years ago, we had stuff made in America. Now, a lot of our shit's made overseas, man. You name it, it's over there now, you know. A transistor radio made in America costed $8. But back then, minimum wage was 50 cents an hour. So you had to work a whole day just to afford a transistor radio. I trust the battery was included. If not, then you'd have to work another hour just get enough money to buy the battery. Can you believe that shit, man? Probably got to work 9 hours between what it costs for that battery and what it costs for the radio. Now the Japanese make the same radio, $4, which means you got to work 4 hours to get enough money to get the radio. Read that craziness? Oh, okay. I got my math wrong. If you're getting paid $1 an hour, it's 8 hours. But at 50 cents an hour, you got to work $1, $2, $3, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8. You got to work one whole day just to make $4. So it takes 2 days' pay just to buy a transistor radio at minimum wage. I mean, talk about crazy, huh? And the Japanese, they know it. So when they buy Trans Radio, yep, they realize that some dumb American has to work 2 days to buy a radio made in this country. By the way, they have to work one whole day, get enough money to buy a radio made in Japan. Talk about dumb luck, you know. So as they say, domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Yeah. Think about that and make a wish, huh? Yeah, you got it. Well, as we say in this wonderful TV world, time to, time to sign off, shut down, chill out. I don't know. I'm going to think of a bunch of crazy words. It's like tune in, drop out, turn on. I guess that's what they used to call it. I don't know. Never tried that stuff, man. I was always working till these crazy ass hours. Who has time? But I leave you with these words of wisdom. Buy American. Yes. Yep. Support all these gold bricks sitting on their asses. They're not doing anything right now. But eventually, one day, they'll realize how much they miss getting all that free money to sit on their asses and do nothing. So I leave you with that, and you all have a good night. Goodbye. Until we meet again, Joe Mama.